Development Commission meeting this Thursday, December 7th of 2023, the last one of the year. If all in attendance wouldn't mind, we'll do an official call to order and we'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a short invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads and join me in prayer. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here together today. We ask that as we talk about the business of this town, that we keep in mind the things that you have done for us, especially as we are in the season of the birth of your Son. Guide us, Lord, and direct us to do the things that are best for this community. Amen.
Item number 3 on tonight's agenda, the public hearing, public/private BOT or BOT agreement. Who wants to lead that one?
You want to open the public hearing first?
Yep. So we'll go ahead and open it.
I would make a motion that we open the public hearing.
I have a first, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Officially open. Going once, going twice.
I would make a motion that we close the public hearing.
I have a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
First and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Officially closed. Okay, now who wants to lead it?
You want to wait
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about the rest after in old business.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and move down to item number 4, the minutes for the November 2nd, 2023 public meeting. Do I have any comments or questions before asking for a motion? None. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes for the November 2nd, 2023 meeting.
Make a motion that we approve those.
Mr. Heidenreich makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same.
I'm an abstention since I wasn't here.
Okay. Motion passes. Item number 5 tonight, the financial report.
That was emailed out to you earlier today, actually, from the clerk treasurer's office. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I believe it is in front of Commissioner Pipkin. Yep. On the second page would be totals. We did earn $56,000 in interest this month. Anybody cares?
I'm not doing the review of the claims again.
Any questions or comments from the commission before asking for a motion to approve the financial report?
I would make a motion that we approve the financial report as presented.
I have a motion to approve as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
A second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Motion passes. Item number 6 tonight is the old business. We'll start with Moorseville Business Center update.
So I do have some good news. I asked prior to the meeting, Commissioner Taylor to execute a Indiana Department of Transportation permit consent form for the signal at 67 and Merriman Road. I'm working with B3 engineers who are helping us through coordination with NDOT, as well as will help us get through the bidding administration process. We did hear from NDOT this week, and they are giving us the green light, no pun intended, to go to bid. So I have been in conversations as well with the town. I know that today Superintendent of Public Works Dave Moore and Tim Bennett had a meeting with Old Dominion, pre-con meeting. So they're ready to start moving dirt, I think as early as next week. I haven't been down there, but they're going to be moving dirt. So I do think it's important that we get that signal up as soon as possible, as I know Dave and Tim both would like to see the signal there. So we'll be working, and hopefully as early as January, we should be able to begin the bidding process, letting the project. So
Perfect. Good deal. Any questions or comments before moving on to the next item? Seeing none, we will move on to the fire station update sign request.
Good evening. So if you remember a while back, we approached you about the property behind Casey's for possibly purchasing that for a training facility for the northern part of Morgan County. Come to find out, and not really kind of wanting to spend unnecessary money after kind of walking that over and looking at it, that property wasn't big enough for what we were wanting to try to go with. While myself and Chelsea was kind of looking around town, trying to see where we can go with that, back during Old Settlers, I was approached by the Chamber of Commerce. They had been approached by a couple of groups that was asking questions about possibly putting a sign up at the firehouse. As hopefully the board knows, that we are a safe haven baby box, and a couple of the groups were basically that helped fundraise that money were wanting to put a sign up. Once I got to kind of talking with that individuals and the commission or the Chamber of Commerce, I said, I'd really like to put a sign up that would involve the whole entire community, whether it be Safe Haven Baby Box, road closures, events that are going on for the town, all that stuff. I approached Chief Metzger years ago and asked the same thing when these digital signs were coming out. Chief Metzger then kind of advised me when I was a firefighter, lieutenant, captain, whatever I was at that time, when I asked him for it, he would look into it. Well, now that I am sitting into that position, I have realized that that funding is a little bit more than what I anticipated. I think Chelsea printed off some proposals for you for quotes on that. These Sign Solutions was the number one quote. Number two quote that I kind of labeled. They offer two different signs. They are actually in Greenwood. I won't go through that stuff unless you guys have questions on that. They actually threw in the one quote due to they offered the same two different materials that are being competitively on that. When I say that, the LED signs. DJ Graphics, they're local. They're out of Martinsville, if you want to call that local. They are actually doing the Parks digital sign. I think they just awarded that one. And then the other one is actually out of Greenwood also, Fast Signs. You see all the quotes there in front of you. So basically, I approached the council on Tuesday. They did approve if the board here decides that they would like to help fund that. They've actually also thought it would be a good idea to maybe even hit the police department and the town hall here on their side and try to get all three done at the same time, if possible. So we're just I am coming to you as the fire department and seeing if it is fundable, that you guys help the community and help the fire department to change our sign for the Moorseville Fire Department, and then make it for the community also, with any kind of information that needs to come across for the town. Sign Solutions, I will say that they do have a electrician, so their electrician proposal is in their, or the cost for electrician is in their proposals. DJ Graphics does not. I have not been able, they do use a electrical company. I have not been able to get in contact with them to see what it would cost for that. The Ground Solutions is actually White's Electric. They've been bought out. They are actually out of Martinsville now. That's who Sign Solution or Fast Signs was using. So that is their electricity proposal. I'm sure we could probably use them for DJ Graphics at that time also.
That makes Sign Solutions price that much lower.
Their electrician is included in this estimate?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I did ask that question, and their sign was it was already included.
No, when you say talking about the town and the police there, you're not talking about putting in 3 signs in 3 different places, because we were only talking about the fire
Right.
department, right?
The town council, to my understanding, basically said, reach out to these. They were going to fund the the town hall plus the police department.
Okay, so they're not asking us for funding for those.
That is my understanding, correct?
This is just you. Fire department.
Correct.
Okay.
We'll see them later. If we approve this, we'll see them later.
And I don't know much about signs, so I think for the benefit of the people watching, they probably want to know what the estimates are. For Sign Solutions, one is just over 43,000 and the other is just over 50. What is the difference between those 2 signs?
Before you clarify, I'm going to back you up because these include sales tax.
Okay.
So take that out. So it's actually 41,470 and 47,405.
Right, and I caught that also. Thank you for bringing it up. Once everything gets finalized, all I have to do is provide the tax ID number, and it'll be tax exempt.
So what's the difference between these 2 estimates?
Which ones, ma'am? I'm sorry.
The 2 from Sign Solutions.
So one is using a Vista digital board, which is a lower end digital sign. They are actually, I'm trying to think which one. They told me which one it was. Red Barrel Liquors,
Okay.
that kind of a digital sign. The Watch Fire is actually what you see at the schools, those digital signs. It's just different technology, basically. Those are the 2 manufacturers that they use.
Location of the sign.
Location of the sign would be basically our footprint that we already have there at the Moorseville Fire Department.
I'm assuming you're going to make sure it's located in a place that it's not blocking anybody's view to pull out.
Correct.
Sometimes traffic backs all the way up to there, so I don't know.
It'd still have to go through the permitting process, right?
Correct.
Through Tim.
Okay.
Correct. Did you print the pictures for them?
I have the pictures. You said that. I didn't even realize there were pictures.
Do you?
Okay.
That
Sorry
is
about that.
basically what we're talking about.
So it's in the location of the existing sign.
Of the existing sign, correct, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I did talk to our street department to save costs. They are willing to remove our sign and our yard work for the footprint to go back into place.
And the park went with DG Graphics.
Yes, sir.
Do these signs look different than what? Will they have a totally different look? I mean, I just hate things. I hate when things are like piecemealed, mismatched, and make us look like we piecemealed and mismatched it all the way through. As a town.
So the Parks Department has, if you don't mind, has elected to use our existing structure, so our I-beam that is currently holding our EMC sign.
Yeah.
What we are doing is cutting it lower, so bring down the profile from higher up to lower. Also, we're doing a 4-foot by 8-foot digital sign. It'll be roughly, the base of the sign will be 10 feet off the ground. That'll put it right at the threshold at the top of our center brick pillars that are at the main entrance, the southern entrance of Pioneer Park. We elected this to keep costs lower, to use our current infrastructure and design, and ultimately just do a system upgrade. We selected DG Graphics for the aesthetics of what they were pitching, because included with our digital sign, we are also doing block lettering on top of the brick.
Is it kind of like this?
It's not like that, but it will be very similar. So it does not have, the screen goes all the way to the
You guys
edge.
have this?
So it's at 4 by 8.
Yeah, we're looking at it, yeah.
The
Over
screen
here.
goes all the way 4 feet in thickness and 8 foot. So There's no thick border like what you would see at the park department right now. So aesthetically, the sign itself will be similar. Any materials outside of that to bring in materials that will be on the sign location.
So this is more than just a screen. This
Correct.
is an entire structure with,
Correct. We have to do something, because right now, there's one picture.
that's why it's expensive, because you're getting a whole. Is this part of the screen, or is that permanent on the sign?
So this is where it says Mooresville Fire Department, that is permanent. The screen is actually the flag.
Is below it. Okay.
That's DG Graphics, though. I mean,
That's DG
what is Sign Solutions?
Sign Solutions.
We have.
So basically, their design, and I do not have that, and I apologize, is similar to DJ Graphics, with basically just their footprint and their stuff. But they're able to do the exact same graphics, basically. The fast signs, they did not send me a printout of what they would look like, but they said that they could do similar to what DJ Graphics and Solutions could do.
I just like things to look like we thought it through. You know, when you go by the PD, it has a similar look to the fire department. That's just my opinion. I could be the only one that thinks that, but. You've got a picture there?
Would
Yours
this
is
be
the
similar to
elevated
what we did with the police department, where we essentially said, we'll give you X amount and reimburse you once you have done it with the contractor you want to do it with? I mean, that was.
Yeah, it's really the fire department's project and everything else. I mean, you are financing it, so just as you were anything else, I mean, you'd be transferring the money for them to do it, but they'll be responsible for seeing it through completion, seeing maintenance, everything else.
Yeah, knowing a little bit more where we're at price wise, I don't know that I don't know that we're the ones who really want to pick. It's just, are we going to allow them? Are we going to give them money? So, yeah.
Right.
One thing I've noticed on some of these, like they have expiration dates on their proposals. Do you know if, like, Sign Solutions, say you went with them, if they're going to hold on to these numbers?
Yeah, my understanding with talking to them, because I kind of asked that question also, because usually the quotes are 30 days,
Yeah.
60 days, whatever it is. They said as long as they understand that they're going to be doing the project next year now.
Okay.
Because when we started this, it was back in October.
Yeah.
But it just took time to get people
Yeah.
to come in.
Yeah.
So,
Understand.
yeah, they said if whoever we award, they will hold on to that price, and it will be,
Okay.
they'll understand that it is going to be, and they may even start it this year, depending
Okay.
on weather. So,
Was the council asking for this commission to buy the signs at the PD? And here, I know there's a discussion about that.
just a fire station.
So, knowing that the park is already approved run from DG, is it a situation where we should see if there's a multiple discount?
I did ask that, and again, I'm still waiting on all three companies to give me prices.
Yeah, now you'd have to be fair about it. And does it change the bidding requirements since these dollar amounts would go up, or?
I guess part of me says if the town is willing to pay for the other two, why are they asking us to pay for this? Or not all three. I mean,
Not all three. Yeah.
I'm not saying yes or no to either one.
Back
I'm
to that.
asking the question.
Curious.
Should we send it back to them and get clarification?
I think I would like to see what this sign looks like
There's that too.
Okay.
for Sign Solutions. I mean, I lean toward going with the low bidder typically.
Right, and my understanding, to kind of clarify some things, is I think it was more of the council. The council really didn't know that I was kind of doing all this. I was just kind of getting the quotes and then coming to them. once I got all the quotes and all that stuff, and then I got the approvals, and yes, if the RDC was willing to fund the fire department, then we would try to look at going with the other two signs on ourselves.
Hey, Phil, would you mind showing the rest of them what you showed me? Their sign is different. It's on a pole. So, I mean, if you picked the lower bidder and they were all three the same, it would probably, that would satisfy my concern, but I'm going to be gone, so.
It's really the town's decision on design.
Design, okay.
All those decisions. Yours is just how much you want to fund.
So we could just say, we'll
Yeah.
reimburse you $50,000, and if you decide to go with a
Yeah.
$60,000, then
That way they can coordinate on either a multiple discount, or if they
Oh,
want them
okay.
to look the same, they can, that's really all their decisions, and they should really be obviously in charge of all that, because they can coordinate, like you said, so you don't have mismatched stuff, so we're just,
Okay.
you are just approving a dollar amount and a price.
Well, and it's not redevelopment's property.
Nope.
What about the bidding process? Is this following up to the town?
Which is why I got 3 quotes.
I'm inclined to say, can we wait till January if you bring pictures of the other?
I mean, we could just give them an amount and trust them. I mean,
Yeah,
because
I'm
it's
fine with
their, I mean, if they decide that they don't match and they don't like it, and we've given them 50,000. And that's one thing
Yeah.
to consider.
Could I make one more comment? I was in Clayton, Indiana, and they have an electronic sign at their government center that lets people know when meetings are and all that kind of stuff, and they are way smaller than us. So I think it's past time to do some. Our government center sign looks
And I
like it
think
was.
that's, now that after our town council meeting on Tuesday, it was said that they want the sign out here in front for the public also. So,
No, I'm completely in favor of funding a sign. I just,
I agree with that.
how do we want to do it? How much? And are we just sitting here and we're going to approve this and then we're going to get asked for more later? So that's my other.
Do you want to say not to exceed 150
And
for the 3 signs?
You're being asked for the one.
we're being asked for one.
Well, then I think the council should present a request to us for what they want.
They said they were going to fund it themselves,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. so.
my understanding is that they were going to try to look to see if they could fund it themselves on Tuesday night.
Okay.
Their ultimate approach was to try to find a unified sign system.
Sign. Okay. Okay.
Okay, good.
Anybody want to make an official motion?
Set on wanting to see the sign solutions
No,
photos? Because if you do, I mean,
No, I can make a motion that, I would say up to $50,000. Is that good? Okay.
I have a first, so I have a second.
second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Motion passes that we will approve up to 50,000.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the hard work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Who seconded that, Brian?
Still under item 6, the Telside update, RFP.
Okay, so as you know, we had a, CTC was, when we went out to RFP for, there's so many acronyms, let me start all over. When we, provided a request for proposals for a road on the former Patel property, we received, one proposal, and that was from, CTC is the name of the company. We have hired Banning, we did that 2 months ago in October, to review that proposal from an engineering standpoint. They have provided comments back to me from the proposal, the design proposal from CTC. I have then worked with our legal counsel on a few of those questions. I've sat down with Dave Moore and Tim Bennett to discuss those questions, as some of those were really more, what does the town want, as opposed to, from a design aesthetic standpoint, what does the town want, as opposed to what does Banning Engineering want. And I have provided that list of questions, which was about 20-ish questions, back to CTC for them to now remark on. So basically, we're in a negotiations phase, if you will, of what is the final design going to look like. So with that being said, what I would request tonight is, knowing that there has been a single proposal provided, that the commission, the recommendation be to move forward with CTC pending all of these negotiations for final design, at which point we'll then have legal counsel draft the build, operate, transfer, or BOT agreement to formalize moving forward.
Banning thought the price seemed reasonable.
So, with the comments going back and forth, that could change the price.
Right. But they didn't think it was excessive.
No.
Okay.
But again, so I guess what I'm asking the recommendation to be that we move forward pending these negotiations. So we don't have a locked-in dollar amount right now, because, asking them to modify this or that will essentially modify the dollar amount in the end. So we won't know that until we execute the actual BOT, but we haven't even drafted that. So this is kind of an interim step to continue to move forward.
It's really a procedural step in that you are selecting them as the BOT sort of provider. I realize it's kind of redundant as they're the only one to provide a response. But you can imagine the statute sort of imagines more people are going to respond, and so then you select a provider. Then you are going to narrow down on all the details, making sure that you have all the design and quality controls that you want. Then a BOT, like a more binding BOT agreement presented that you'll approve. So this is just approving CTC as the provider, and the agreement will come once it's finalized.
Need a motion
Yes,
that we accept CTC
as the BOT provider.
as the BOT. I'll make a motion.
We have a motion to accept CTC as the provider, right? I said that right. A lot of acronyms floating around.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Motion passes.
Thanks.
All downhill from here, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Alrighty. Moving on. Item number 7, legal managerial update. Who wants to go first?
I've got a few. First, I realized I don't have Main Street on the agenda, which now needs to be a standing line item. So I went door to door along the project path from Carlisle all the way to Maple Lane, and knocked on doors, spoke with property owners, legally left flyers inviting them to a event on Thursday, December 14th at Zydeco's from 5 to 7. So really, this is the project kickoff is how we're viewing this. We really want the property owners, business owners to participate. What I've said to them is that we have identified that is the path from Carlisle to Maple Lane, and we've hired Banning, and that's it. So design will take place in 2024, construction in 2025, and want feedback as to what this project should look like. So there will be a brief presentation, really kind of running it open house style from 5 to 7. There will be a brief presentation at 5:30, so looking forward to having people come together and talk about what it is that this should look like. So the people who were home, honestly, and the businesses that I spoke to were just happy to be included this early on in the process. For the most part, conversations were really positive. So.
And you meant from Monroe Street to Maple
Sorry,
Lane.
yes.
Carlisle's by the high school.
Yes, sorry, Monroe. to.
Okay, just I didn't want the paper to
Yes.
print that wrong.
Yep, sorry.
Okay,
I'm crossing Monroe and Carlisle yeah, thank you.
it's
You knew what
easy.
I meant.
It's
Yeah.
easy to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of streets.
So Monroe to, Maple, yes, yep.
Just didn't want Lance to print that wrong.
Yep. Yep. And I also then snail mailed about 40 after handing out about 90. Because I didn't want to miss any property owners that, there's several of the homes are rentals. And several of the businesses, there's different tenants. And I wanted to make sure the property owners know as well as the tenants. So
When did you mail them?
I did not mail you one because I emailed you one if that's what you're getting at, but I mailed them last
Yeah,
Wednesday.
where's mine?
In your email inbox, sir.
Check your junk mail.
No, I appreciate you doing all that.
Yeah.
It's a good approach.
And I'm planning on going. I'll be there.
Planning to be there. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
Is banding going to be a part of that?
Yes,
open
absolutely.
house?
The banding
Yeah,
team will be there. They'll
That's what I thought,
kind of
yeah.
run the
They
presentation.
do the presentation.
Yeah. Yep.
that's nice.
Yep.
Good deal.
Secondly, you have before you a letter, which now that I'm saying this all out loud, I think I need to revise because I think I said Carlisle instead of Monroe because I'm on the wrong. Yep, that is correct. So I need to change that. But you have a letter before you of support that I'm asking you consider. On behalf of Mike Dellinger, who's sorry that he can't be here tonight, but the EDC has been working on the READY Grant 1.0. And in particular, the READY 180 Makeover Grant Program. So this is a program that is part of READY 1.0 Regional Alliance known as the 180 Alliance, which includes Morgan County. And if you'll indulge me, this is actually a letter Mike wrote me earlier today. The 180 Makeover Grant Program was identified in media and promoted by the Regional Alliance. Morgan County EDC worked with each of its 3 investor communities, that would be the county, Martinsville, and Mooresville, to identify priority projects for the $384,200 local grant funds. Martinsville has submitted its grant application. They've also worked with Monrovia, who declined to pursue the grant program due to project timing. And a project has been proposed to obtain a 180 makeover grant from the state of Indiana READY program to rehabilitate Steve Harris's historic building on North Main Street. The building has immediate structural issues that require stability prior to what would be the complementing streetscape project on Main Street. So you have before you part of the grant. There's a public match, a private match, and then the third match would be from READY. So this is not a request for funds. We're essentially using our Main Street project as the match. So I will change. I'm glad you caught that, Commissioner Williams. Carlisle to Monroe. But I would ask for support in asking Commissioner Taylor to execute this letter as a sign of support for this grant application.
So there's no money on our part except
Yeah.
for the project itself.
Except for what we're already planning to do, correct?
Yeah.
So we are essentially using that as the public investment match so that Steve Harris can get a grant, and he'll also be funding. It's a 1-to-1 grant, so he'll be funding half of the project. But he's got a pretty significant structural issue, and if our buildings are falling down along Main Street, it's counterintuitive to us doing our project. So
Slight problem.
yeah.
So do we need an official motion for me to execute?
I'll make the motion to have Brian Taylor, President Mooresville Redevelopment Commission, execute this letter of agreement with the change of Monroe Street to Maple Lane.
I have a first. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same? All right. I guess I need to sign that.
Awesome. I'll fix it and let you sign it. Otherwise, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I know the Parks Department was here tonight. I have worked with him this month on a press release, which I think will be coming out maybe as soon as tomorrow. Okay. On the project. And again, yeah, happy to answer any questions anybody may have.
Questions? Comments? Legal's turn.
So, I had sent out to you guys before electronic copies of the new TIF handbook. I brought bound copies. It's great reading material. If you can't fall asleep at night or give it to your kids for punishment. But hopefully you guys find it useful.
Thank you very much. Alrighty. Item number 8 on tonight's agenda, new business. Any new business?
Nope.
Nope. Done? We'll move on to review the claims.
I would make a motion that we approve the claims in the amount of $19,073.04.
I have a first to accept the claims. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Claims pass. For good of the order, I'll go ahead since we have a lot of public here tonight. Anybody need to add anything before we run through the board?
I liked the logo they came up with. I think it's
Yeah.
a fun kind of main in motion and
Yep.
yeah. Excited.
Thank you all in attendance tonight. I'll move down the list here. Mr. Williams, do you have anything to add for tonight?
Sure. Tonight's my last evening. Appreciate the opportunity to serve on this commission the last year. I'm proud of this commission because I think it's really changed direction from what it was in the past. It's really engaged the public. It's really done things to help the town of Mooresville, including the park system. It's worked with the school systems, which I think is extremely important. It's sold the properties, which I think is really good. Puts money back in the coffers so that we can do things in town. Proud of this commission. I think it's a good bunch of people on this commission. Every one of you has been professional, treated me with respect, and treats everyone with respect, and I think that's very important. Chelsea and I don't always agree, no secret there, but she's been very professional to me. I appreciate that very much. Very much appreciate the approach to the Main Street project this time, as opposed to what happened in the past, where it's doing what it can to engage the public and the people that are affected. So thanks to all of you for serving. I hope the council keeps every one of you. You're welcome.
Commissioner Heinrich? Commissioner Peak?
Well, Jake's not here, but I was going to congratulate him on his appointment to superintendent. I assume we might get somebody different, but, you know, he does great work here and he does great work for the community, so really excited to see that.
Good call.
Well said. Commissioner Colt?
So in a previous life, I sat over there in that seat and spent a lot of time covering meetings like this. So it was an interesting request when Shane asked me to serve on the redevelopment commission. Thought about it long and hard, and I have to say it has really kicked off me being more in the political side of things, and I really appreciate that you pushed me and helped me get into this. So thank you for appointing me in the first place, and I really appreciated serving with you this last year. So thank you.
Brian, I appreciate that.
Tough one to follow. No, thank you, Mr. Williams. I know we've had a lot of run-ins throughout the town, which is great, just because we're involved in a lot of similar things. But also, just to reiterate what Commissioner Colt said, you know, it started with a conversation, and now here we are. So, appreciate everything you've done. Appreciate the time commitment, not only here but with the town council as well. It's been a lot of good conversations, a lot of projects kicked off, and a lot of completions that really, wouldn't have moved as fast had you not voiced your opinions as well. So thank you for spearheading a lot of that, and thank you for working so well with this commission, and I'm jealous of some of the free time you're going to have now, so. But thank you very much. Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for a great 2023 and looking forward to 2024.
Absolutely.
Got cookies, but not Christmas cards. But I remembered the important thing, which is the cookies. So enjoy some nosh deliciousness, and thanks for another great year.
Perfect. Good deal. Well, thank you for everybody being here tonight. Last item on the agenda, next meeting date and adjournment. We will be meeting January 4th. We're not starting over this year, so it'll be 2024.
Yeah, sorry. Meant
So-
to do that. Yeah. That gets me every year. Every year.
And that we move that meeting to 6 a.m. on a Saturday. Next meeting.
Unfortunately, I think,
Works for me. I'm up.
I mean, I'm able to do it,
when
but
does he lose voting rights?
I think I just
It's
did.
now a good time. Next meeting, January 4th, 2024 at 6 p.m. If that works for the commission, except for Shane. And I will ask for our favorite motion of the evening, motion to adjourn.
Motion that we adjourn.
We have a first. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
First and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same.